If you work in manufacturing, you probably see data every day. In fact, you may see it so often that you've become numb to it. Understanding that data exists in every corner of the factory, how can it be summarized into usable formats? Well, there are multiple ways to do this. Some are simple and some are more complex. And each format provides us with a totally different insight. However, in this video, we're going to just explore the simplest method of characterizing process data, and that's something called central tendency. The measure of central tendency is a measurement of a data set's center, and there are three measures of central tendency, and these are median, mode, and mean. The median of a data set is the centermost data point, and the mode is going to have the highest frequency of occurrence in the data set. However, median and mode aren't really helpful when it comes to process management, so let's set those aside. Instead, let's talk about statistical mean. The mean of a data set is simply the data set's average, and we can easily calculate mean by adding together all the data and then dividing it by the total number of data points. In the realm of process management, a data set's mean is awesome information to know. However, all by itself, it can be meaningless information. But when we give it some context, it comes to statistical life. Let's say, for example, that you produce safety harnesses for power line workers, and you have some data that indicates that the actual mean tensile strength for today's production run is 917 pounds. But to make sense of this mean information, we need to give it some context. And we'll do that by looking at the product specifications. Now, this particular harness specification calls for a minimum tensile strength of 750 pounds. So now, because we have some context, we know that we're in good shape versus our product specification. In this example, context in the form of product specifications is really important. Data trends can also provide some really good context. Since our recent data reflects a mean result of 917 pounds of tensile strength, what was it last week? Or what about last month? You see, by comparing our current process mean results to previous mean data, we can start to develop our process trend information. And by analyzing the trends, we can start to garner some really valuable information about operational inputs and process controls. Lastly, it's critically important to enhance our process understanding beyond that of just central tendency. We also need to understand measurements that characterize process variation, and this information is provided in some of our other T for T videos and in our online training courses. So, in summary, mean is a measurement of central tendency, and it reflects process censoring. Knowing the mean of a data set is awesome, but it's also limited without understanding the context in the form of product specifications, process trends, and variation information. My name is Joe Joyce, and I'm with Tools for the Trenches. If you work in manufacturing, then visit us, follow us, and subscribe to thrive.